The Order Malleus Demon Hunter, being piloted by Olev, is on Quest's Heresy, facing up against Muerte and his force commander. Wonder what LW is. Who are LW? Looking like a clan tag. I've never seen those guys in Dawn of War 2. They play other games? I don't know. I don't know who Muerte is. I'm not sure. But obviously going up against a pretty experienced player in Olev, though I don't know how experienced Olev is in actually playing Grey Knights. Never mind the Demon Hunter. Pretty good map for the tanky melee heroes here, Quest Heresy. You've got a lot of line of sight blockers that he can abuse, but the Demon Hunter himself, of course, has quite a few items that can basically turn him into a tanky melee hero. For the cheap cost of 100 requisition and 20 power, you can rock the Hunter's Blade Power Sword Tier 1. Makes him as good as any other melee hero in Tier 1, 50 DPS power melee. Drains energy as well, can be quite nice against scouts and the Force Commander. Then you get his first armor, the name of which I constantly forget. And it gives him a rather large increase to his maximum HP and a large increase to his HP regen, and just like that, he becomes a tanky melee hero. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Interestingly, both of our players right now are opting for only 2 starting units, not the conventional 3. Which is good for them, I guess, because it means that neither of them is going to have an advantage or disadvantage in the map control in the early game. I would suspect that they're both... Okay. Wow, interesting. I was going to say I would suspect that they're both rushing their jump squads, but that's not true. Olev is going to be going for fast operatives, and Muerte has picked up a very fast shotgun squad. So that allows him to knock over the strike squad there, and actually snags a model kill. Quite lucky. But that's good for Muerte. It's definitely helping the shotguns pay for themselves early on. Now those shotgun scouts, though, will be hunted constantly by the Inquisitorial operatives. I talked about this before on casts. I don't know if that cast has already been uploaded or will be uploaded later, but operatives are a beautiful counter to shotgun scouts. Shotgun scouts do really well against melee with the high speed and the knockback, but even against ranged, when they use the infiltration to get really close, knock over the ranged squad, and then get point blank shotgun shots off, they can beat a lot of ranged squads 1v1. But you can't do that against operatives because they detect you, so you don't get close enough. And the shotgun scouts' shotguns do more damage up close, but the operatives' ones do full damage at long range, as you're about to see. No, you're not, because they're not shooting. Okay, they're shooting attacks. They do their full damage at long range, so they can really punish the scouts. And they also, unlike a lot of other squads, can actually keep up with the scouts because they're very fast as well. So they're a really nice scout counter. So typically in this matchup you will see one operative in order to help counter the enemy Space Marine scouts, but you don't typically see 2, because operatives, whilst they're good against scouts and they're okay at dealing with heroes, they're not very good against ASM or tanks. Heavy infantry resisting the piercing damage of their shotguns can be a problem. So typically the SM would get ASM, Assault Space Marines. But we're not seeing that from Muerte. Instead, we're seeing him go for a fast tier 2. Very light tier 2, it has to be said. He's literally only spent money on his scouts. Wow, this is an insanely light tier 2. He doesn't even have his 3rd gen. Muerte, what are you doing? Your build makes no sense, brother. Makes no sense. Olev had the operatives overwatched. Definitely don't want triple operatives. You don't even want double operatives. So this is really interesting. The double operatives is weird because you're vulnerable to the ASM, but Muerte has not gone for ASM, he has just rushed tier 2. So I don't know how this is going to play out. This is already a very, very strange game, to say the least. No, okay, no, we do see upgrades. Armor of Fortitude, that's the one! Armor of Fortitude, plus 200 maximum HP and plus 2 HP per second whilst you got that armor. So it really does turn him into quite a tanky hero. 950 HP with this. I mean, he's nearly on par with the Chaos Lord with his 1000 starting HP. But of course he has far higher HP regen than the Chaos Lord has. But fast tier 2 was the play from Muerte, and with it, a fast Razorback. That's going to put a lot of pressure on. It's going to bleed these operatives extremely quickly. But when the operatives get to tier 2, they can get double melter bombs, and that will be a pretty good counter. Probably want some extra AV on top of that, but we'll see what Olev opts for. Very weird game so far, this. So the scouts are now rotating back to the natural gen farm of Muerte along with the tactical space marines. They're just going to retreat off the map. Razorback, what's it going to do? Push. Probably just force off these operatives here, which are doing a nice job actually staying in green cover, so it's taking a bit longer than it otherwise would. And then push for the gen farm. Olev now realises he's behind. He's dropped a 4th generator. Wow, he is floating crazy amounts. Come on, Olev, when are you going to realise, mate? You are 50 power ahead of where you need to be to tech. See, if Olev was tier 2, he could actually get a las cannon rhino out, and that would be such a beautiful count to the Razorback. Muerte pushing towards the base right now, which is an awful idea. Look how long he's taking to kill these operatives. This is terrible. He is killing them, but man, it's taking forever. It's not worth it. He's much better off bashing the power. Thunderhammer. Okay, I don't think the Demon Hunter. I don't think the Demon Hunter wants to be fighting a Force Commander with a Thunderhammer. He wants to get out of there. Where are the grenades going? That was down in the base. Muerte is being ridiculous. He is throwing grenades onto operatives in the base. He just needs to get out of there. He is killing the operatives, but they are... It's taking time because they've got the healing and they've got the damage resistance from the base. Looks like Olev isn't actually reinforcing them though, which is probably a mistake. He's gonna lose one. Oh my god, he lost an operative squad. What the fuck? Olev! It's because he's got the sergeant queued up, because he wants the melter bomb straight away. But this... that's not a good idea. Because he's not reinforcing them in the base. And you don't need the sergeant. As soon as you get the last cannon rhino, you should be able to just hunt down the Razorback using the hold fire mechanic and wipe it. Which is one of the reasons why this play is so crazy from Muerte. At least if he took out the power farm, then that last cannon rhino would be a little bit delayed, but... weird plays. And yeah, okay, the Demon Hunter did get wrecked by that Force Commander. So, you know, things are looking good for Muerte, at least when we don't look at the VPs. But let's see, there is a Rhino out now. It is purchasing a las cannon turret, and it's heading in the direction that the Razorback was last seen in. Razorback needs to move quick. Once this thing is in range, if there is nothing else to distract the shots of the Rhino, then the Razorback's fucked. The Razorback is level 2 with the extra armor, so it is tanky. You see here when the Force Commander's nearby, the Rhino is wasting shots, firing at them. Yeah. Olev is fine, he's playing it patiently. He's not mindlessly charging at the Razorback. He probably should finish off the bash now. Muerte has had so much time in tier 2 that he's now had enough resources to get a Dreadnought out, and that's what he's going to be doing. Multi-melter is on the way for the Dreadnought, but the thing is, he doesn't have any ASM, so he can't do the combo of a Melter Bomb Snare into a multi-melter. So if Olev can micro correctly, this Dreadnought should never get close enough with a multi-melter. Plus, there's operatives inside here. They can come out and throw a Melter Bomb down to snare the Dreadnought even more. Yeah. The Dreadnought should never be able to catch this Rhino. I said the DPS coming out of the last kind of Rhino is not that crazy, so It's going to take a while to kill it. The Dreadnought as well can be utilising these line of sight blockers to avoid getting shot. But the problem for Muerte right now is actually not the las cannon Rhino. Well, it is a problem, but not the major problem. The major problem is the fact that he's so low on VPs right now. 177 VPs to 436 for Olev. Really needs to make some progress towards this. See the Forceglaive getting upgraded on the Demon Hunter, so now with the Forceglaive and the Armour of Fortitude, I'm pretty sure the Demon Hunter will be able to beat the Force Commander 1v1. Let's have a look. So the Thunderhammer only does 62.5 power melee DPS, the Forceglaive does 71.43, so the Forceglaive actually does more damage than the Thunderhammer. But the Thunderhammer has a passive chance of knocking over the enemy, 15% even with normal attacks. So that probably makes the Thunderhammer better, but the Demon Hunter has the Armour of Fortitude, so he has more max HP, a lot more actually, and way more HP regen. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the Demon Hunter will win that 1v1. Which is nice for Olev for sure. So, was that missile tax? I wasn't even looking, but I feel like I heard the missile tax there. Oh, this is not looking like a good position for the Razorback. Oh, it's so dead. Come on, throw the Melter Bomb. Yeah, it's dead. Yeah, it is missile tax. Man, is he getting a las cannon too? That's kind of insane. That's so much AV. But it's tough when you don't have a snare. Here he is, wow. Missile tax, Melter Dreadnought, and a las cannon just to kill a las cannon Rhino. That is the power of the Rhino right there, guys. That is crazy. Vindicare Assassin comes up for Olev. I like the pick. More ranged AV to hurt this Dreadnought, and it's going to have utility sniping las cannon Devastator models. Melter Bomb now too. Yeah, this Dreadnought's in a terrible spot right now. Why are the operatives not firing their Melter Bomb? Is that on cooldown? Maybe. Probably should be turning on Hold Fire here onto the Rhino so that the las cannon isn't shooting at the Force Commander. Vindicare is getting battered right now. Oh no! Oh, Olev. The sloppy retreat, man. And brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Battlecry damage buffed las cannon Devastators wipe the Rhino. One more shot from the Rhino would have killed the Dreadnought. Can you believe it? I bet Olev can't believe it, that's for sure. Iron Halo now active on the Force Commander. So that is an effective, at level 3 with 120 energy, an effective 600 extra HP. The Demon Hunter is not going to win this fight now. It's funny how this keeps swinging back and forth, right? So I think if the Demon Hunter got the Sundering ability from whatever the accessory is called, then he probably would win. That reduces the melee defense. Not melee defense, oh my god, that's a totally different game, jeez. The melee resist of the unit hit by it by 35%. Which is more than a 35% damage increase. It's really high. That probably would make the Demon Hunter win that duel again. But also, you know, you've got Energy Burst from the Strike Squad to lower his energy. You've got Psychic Fortress, which Olev did actually use there on the Demon Hunter, but really late. And that does AoE Energy Drain and AoE Slow. The Slow doesn't really help, but the Energy Drain to drain the shield doesn't hurt. Operatives are bleeding quite a lot. I feel like the Melter Dreadnought's done quite well, actually. It's always popping models as soon as they come close. Artificer armor at last on the Force Commander. So you see that armor is actually better than the Demon Hunter's Armor of Fortitude, which is, I think, really weird. I don't know. I'm sure that wasn't originally the case, because the Armor of Fortitude gives 202 HP regen, but the Artificer armor gives 2.5 HP regen and 200 max HP. I guess you could argue that the Demon Hunter is not a dedicated melee hero like the Force Commander, so the Force Commander's war gears should be a bit better at that kind of thing. I don't know about that argument though. Because it's not like the Force Commander has no utility other than damage. He does. He has a lot of damage buffs. But just something to think about. I can't actually remember what the cost of the Artificer Armor is, and the other thing, of course, is that the Artificer Armor, its secondary benefit is 20 max energy, whereas this thing's secondary benefit is an extremely powerful ability. But Purifiers are going to be the choice for Olev. Actually, a really nice choice, since the Multi-Melter Dreadnought actually loses its melee resist when it gets that ranged upgrade. So the Purifiers here probably can kill him. Probably will kill him, because they've got the... oh, what's going on? Oh, drain energy. Yeah, draining his bubble shield with the strike squad. See, that's what he needed to do. And then he can't use Battle Cry either and be spamming Thunderhammer specials. So yeah, you see the Purifier Justicar did manage to slay that Dreadnought. Lost Purifier for it, but obviously that is a fantastic trade for the Grey Knights. He doesn't want 2 Purifiers, surely. I think that's an Overwatch mistake. I don't think that's intentional. Okay, a little bit of pew pew coming out from the shotgun scouts here. Going to force off the strike squad. Unfortunately, not able to get in a decent position for a nade there. Wow, Muerte's army is looking so thin. Just realised now. And we do have double purifiers for Olev. Surely that couldn't be intentional. Muerte down below 100 VPs at this point. Whereas Olev has a pretty juicy 245. Nice use of Indomitable there on the Demon Hunter to dodge the shotgun blast, and now Inferno comes out, boom, sends those scouts flying, doesn't stop the decap. Okay, it does now. The scouts are going to go back on the decap, but that Inferno Glaive is ripping them to pieces. Inferno Glaive, Force Glaive. Really nice DPS on it, 71 DPS power melee. But they got the decap, that's what they wanted. Muerte obviously is under extreme VP pressure right now, so he's quite happy, I guess, to get the decap for the cost of 105 requisition, which is really expensive decap on a VP. Demon Hunter now retook it back, and Muerte is calling in Assault Terminators. Let's see how this goes then. Double Purifiers. Now, whilst they have the Thunder Hammers, they're not actually going to do that amazing against the Purifiers. They will win just on sheer HP. For the Emperor, used on the Terminators. Extra damage for them, but the second Purifier squad's now coming in. You've got a total of 4 models hitting this one Terminator model on the side here. But now that the Thunderhammer Force Commander gets involved, things are going to go very poorly for the Grey Knights here. Terminators teleporting forward, actually going to finish off that Purifier squad, not bad. Operatives are rotating over, they want to shoot this Force Commander to death, and probably a decent idea. Demon Hunter should probably just stay near this contested VP. This is very much a VP game now with Muerte down to his last 25. These Purifiers are really overstaying their welcome. Trying to get a wipe on the Force Commander there, but not going to happen. And Operatives follow-up fire, not going to aid in that either. Strike Squad and Operatives probably want to push forward, take on these scouts, put pressure on the natural VP of Muerte, not giving the Assault Terminators time to capture the natural VP of Olev. But instead Muerte is going to call in a drop pod, drops out some tactical Space Marines so they can get the VP capture, whilst the Terminators move back to the natural VP of Muerte and prevent the Operatives from capping it. Operatives look like they will be able to achieve the decap right now. No, they don't. Okay. Oh, but the Scout Squad lost by Muerte. That is a big loss. Because just think, that Scout Squad could have retreated back to the base, ran using its speed 6.5 down to the contested VP, and started putting pressure down there to force some sort of response from Olev. But now that play is off the table. Demon Hunter and Strike Squad putting on a lot of pressure here, forcing the Force Commander off once again. But it is a 2-1 cap in favour of Muerte. Muerte moved his tactical marines to the east side. Actually not a bad idea, because the Purifiers were coming out, there's nothing that Tactical Marines could have done to prevent the Purifiers from taking that VP. In contrast, a couple of Stormtrooper models here, running around for Olev, no upgrades, obviously intentionally not reinforcing them to minimise his upkeep. They unfortunately don't do anywhere near enough damage to prevent these attacks from capping. Demon Hunter, on the other hand, he does a lot of damage. Special attack just instantly takes off 25% of the HP from the attacks. Then he distributes his damage quite evenly between the models. Does kill a model. Back at the natural VPs, we now see Lightning Claw Terminators, so even better now against the heavy infantry melee of the Grey Knights. You know, you need to get Grey Knight Terminators to have much of a chance against this, and even then Grey Knight Terminator will actually lose. So, okay, this is an alternative. If you don't want to fight it with infantry, yeah, you can get a Grey Knight Dreadnought, and obviously power melee here on these Terminators now, not heavy melee. So, not going to be doing much damage at all to the Grey Knight Dreadnought. Really can't fight it 1v1. They will get wrecked. So this is quite a nice pick. You've got missile launchers, but that is literally all that Muerte has for AV at the moment. And 130 damage from a missile launcher, not enough right now. I mean, I feel for Muerte, I feel like he has been fighting his heart out to keep these VPs in his control for a long time now, and I just don't know how long he can keep this up for. I mean, Force Commander with a Thunderhammer, easily able to solo the Purifiers down here, I think. I mean, yeah, with his level 6, definitely can. And these Terminators, you see how badly they do against the Grey Knight Dreadnought, just hopeless. I think this is done. I don't know what the Grey Knight Dreadnought's doing, it should just walked across this way. The Strike Squad should be tying up the attacks, with the Demon Hunter capping instead. It's all a bit backwards. But here you go, the Dreadnought has found itself in a pretty good position now. Looks like the Strike Squad are going to go down bottom. Purifier's getting absolutely smashed by the Force Commander, who is, by the way, level 7 now. But on the other side of things, Terminator's getting absolutely smashed by the Dreadnought. Yeah. Tactical Marines getting killed by the Demon Hunter. I think Muerte has given in here. Maybe he's too focused down here. Here he is. Psychic Fortress used there on the Force Commander. Force Commander swapping to the Sacred Standard from his Iron Halo. I guess he was sick of the Strike Squad draining his Iron Halo energy. But with that, Muerte is wiped of his forces, and he thinks that Grey Knights are broken. Cool story, bro. Of course. Yes, lots of abilities with no penalty. Sure. Sure. Maybe get some ASM. Pro tip. Get some ASM. Or, you know, a Dreadnought that isn't ranged. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous talk. You know that they can drain energy with that ability. That's the whole point of the Strike Squad. Yet they lose to ASM. So, why get the Iron Halo when you know that they have an ability that drains energy? Go for the Sacred Standard in the first place. I guess he forgot, and then he's getting salty because he made a bad play. Anywho, decent game. Yeah, I don't even know what to say any more than that. Craziness, craziness. Hope you did enjoy it though, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Torpid signing out.